Hera, Athena, Artemis, Aphrodite, Hestia, Iris, Penelope, Daphne, Phoebe, Chloe, Persephone, Calliope, Zeus, El Shaddai, Adonai, Yahweh, Jehovah, Elohim, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Devi, Krishna, Lakshman, Allah, Jesus. All of these and more are different names for God. But what the bleep is God? And who decided what God is or isn't? How do we as humans discern what this thing is? Unless this thing tells us what it is. If in fact it can tell us anything at all about it. And humans seem to be the ones that always report what God has said, rather than God itself doing something in a way that no human could misunderstand or misrepresent it. For whatever reason, God seems to choose locations and tribes and peoples and times that are separate and independent from each other. God appears to different cultures in different ways at different times to different peoples with distinct messages to each of them, as if God is merely a human endeavor. God's actions and or inactions seem to be the exact thing that we would expect if there wasn't a God, if God was merely a human invention, an idea, a thought, a meme. Humans have believed in various types of gods throughout history, and that belief persists today. The types of gods and the things that God can or cannot, will or will not do vary from religion to religion. Some people view God as a personal agent, others view it as something that's merely in the background holding everything together, or the sustainer of things, or the thing that started it all and left it be after that, or any number of concepts exist. Some view it as merely energy, or that there has to be something greater than humanity out there somewhere. But what that greater thing is, who knows? It seems that almost everyone has some idea about what God is or isn't. Even the non-believer. Because we don't believe in it, whatever it is. But what is it? Well, if we don't know what it is, can we say we don't believe in it? Yes, I think we can, and we do. Because, well, how can you believe something that you don't even know what the bleep it is? You're presented with a thing, and then you're saying, is this a thing that you believe in? Well, okay, what is it like? I don't know. And then you're told about it, and it's like, okay, well, now I can tell you whether I believe in it or not, but until you tell me what it is, I don't know if I would believe in it or not. Believe in it. That's an interesting thing, isn't it? Because the similarity of every single God concept relies upon one common thread: belief. The word belief, like most words, is somewhat ambiguous. We tend to kind of know what we mean by the word belief, but our idea of what it means can vary from person to person and time to time. The context matters. What do I mean when I use the word belief is what's relevant in this presentation, regardless of how you view this word. So, how do I view the word belief? Well, here's an example. I'm going to show you a picture and tell you something about that picture, and then ask you if you believe me or not. This is an orange square that is called an orangutan. It is deadly to touch. Do you believe me? Yes or no? Unless you're some sort of yin-yang on a mountain or something, you probably will answer no to this. If you are a yin yang that's on a mountain, you probably won't answer yes or no and instead explain some technically complex thing that I have to read 5 times. Oh, sorry. Inside jokes and memes aside, no, you probably don't believe me because, well, you probably know what that thing was and what it is, and my description of it was not even close, not even a little. It was just something completely different that doesn't fit and is incoherent. So, of course, you don't believe what I have said because it does not align with the reality that you've come to understand. But what if I present a new concept to you, one that you've never heard of before, and then explain what it is and how it works? Then at that point you have to decide whether you believe it or not. But how do you decide whether you should or shouldn't believe in any given idea? That is, of course, the question. Not whether or not there's a God, but how do we know anything at all? What is the best methodology that we collectively have come up with to know that something is at least possible, probable, or actual? And if we're looking for facts, then that means we're looking for evidence, we're looking for tests, we're looking for something that we can study. But belief, it is said by many, is outside the realm of something that you can study. Of course, this brings up a bizarre paradox. How can you say anything about something that you can't study? If you can't see it or verify it, how do you know what it is? If it's beyond human understanding, then how do you understand anything? Other than that you don't understand it. But that is something that you understand, and it's a giant paradox. We humans have a lot of questions about how things work. And for many, the answer is simple. God did it. But for others, the answer is not that simple. The answer is far more complicated than that. And even if you look into what people mean by God, it seems that the answer really isn't simple after all. God is a complicated thing that itself is not understood or apparently understandable. The answer, so to speak, is a more mystery. It's not an answer at all. It just substitutes for an actual answer that we can hold on to. Fact is greater than faith, greater than belief, right? I've said and written many times that if you have facts, you don't need faith. Is faith something that is akin to fact? Is fact greater than faith? I think so, but some argue the point. They say that faith is more like trusting somebody. I trust you because I know you. I know you wouldn't lie to me. So, even if you tell me something bizarre, I'm going to believe it. But of course, trust is earned via evidence of past actions, attitudes, etc. So, you're telling me a story that I must trust is a true story. Then you're telling me things about that story that I have to also trust. And so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, it's just a story. And you either believe the story or you don't. But how do you decide what to believe? That's the question. And that's where I'll end this video, with the open question, so that you can answer it. Bleeped if I know how to answer it anymore. I thought I knew at one point, but now I'm not too sure anymore. In fact, maybe I never knew. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe you know what you're doing. Do you? I don't know. Who knows? Someone knows. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. That's the end of the video.